So I've posted a lot of tactical gameplay so far, maxed it out, have enjoyed the Plasma Incinerator for a while now, and then moved on to leveling up the classes. But I had a number of people in the comments section telling me not to sleep on the standard bolt rifle with the grenade launcher underbarrel attachment. And because I don't like to talk about things I don't know jack about, I let those comments go unanswered, and I doubled back to the class to completely grind out the bolt rifle up to relic tier from the base tier. And this journey was a wild ride of emotions, mainly because the starting version of the weapon is hot garbage. But over time, the weapon makes insane jumps in its damage output capacity that I believe takes it from being D tier as a weapon all the way up to being S tier. And initially, I thought people were crazy to hype this thing up, but by the end of the journey, I was doing everything a Melta Rifle can do and so much more. And I'm proud to say that I'm now a firm believer in this weapon, and I would rank it as the best primary I've yet to play with in this game at the relic tier specifically. Let me unpack this thing a bit for you, and in the background you'll see, anywhere from average all the way up to Ruthless gameplay captured during my XP grind to level this thing up. Alright, let's dive into it. There are two main things you need to know out of the gate with this weapon. Not all versions have access to the underbarrel grenade launcher. There are only 3 that do. So if you want to use the grenade launcher, you need to be sure to equip the correct version of the gun. The second thing you have to notice is the insane gap between the base version of the gun and the relic tier version of the gun. The base tier only has 3 firepower. It is a pea shooter. It's an absolute joke of a weapon. The second tier takes it up to 4 at the green level, not much better, and the grenades literally just tickle enemies. I was so unimpressed. At the green tier, it takes 5 grenade launcher shots to take a major from full health to executable on just the average difficulty. It's laughably bad. But then you get to the purple version, and here's where things begin to change. It bumps up to 6 firepower, and you're also at this point where you're investing in perks to increase the firepower beyond even that base, based on certain criteria. This gameplay on Inferno, for example, is with the purple tier version of the gun before I had it to relic tier and on the substantial difficulty. And you can see just how much carnage we are causing with this thing. We're just point blank blasting majors with the GL and then launching right into finishers. And that's queuing up, health regeneration, armor regeneration, and ammo regeneration. We got a lot to talk about the ammo economy here. So at first, I did have my doubts about the ammo economy on this thing. Like, how could it compete with the Melta that has huge crowd control, without using an alternate firing mode with just 6 to 7 shots? Yeah, well, the answer is Emperor's Vengeance. So this perk on the tactical skill tree, I've talked about it before, it's S tier. It makes it so that you get all of your grenade launcher shots refunded whenever you kill a major enemy, and that effect can happen once every 30 seconds, which is very frequently. So in other words, you're almost never in need of GL ammo. But you can also increase your carrying capacity for ammo on the bottom row of the skills on the bolt rifle skill tree itself as well, which I did. So we're very much able to just spam these GL shots right and left. The AoE of the detonation is wide enough as well to completely delete groups of majors who cluster together. Drop the Auspex scan, fire a few shots into the horde, and watch them fall. And that's just at the purple tier. Once you get this thing up to the relic tier, this is nuts. It's going to bump the damage, the firepower, all the way up to 9 instead of 6. Considering it started at 3 and it ends at 9, this is a huge gap. So in terms of where it starts and where it ends up, I don't know that there's another gun that undergoes that much of a change, of an evolution over time. The other thing I was concerned about is survivability on higher tiers. I'm going to be honest, I had my doubts here. The Melta Rifle, as everyone knows, has the ability to overheal you past your contested health thresholds all the way back to full red HP. I thought this one would come up short in comparison. I was wrong. As it turns out, on substantial and ruthless difficulty, you can absolutely face tank. Just spam the GL shots into your own feet when you're getting overwhelmed, and the AoE damage will 100% restore your health to full every time you shoot the weapon. Your survivability is absolutely insane here. You're not going to be in trouble when you're surrounded. On the contrary, that is when you are eating good. At the end of the day, because of this weapon, I'm able to take on any threat, whether they're big or small, extremes and terminus enemies of all shapes and sizes, whether they're a hellbrute brawling me on the ground or a neurothrope launching down psionic waves from the air. It fits perfectly with the tactical's well-rounded nature and leaves no gaps in your build the way the Melta Rifle might. You can't really take on things that are really far away. You have a hard time taking down neurothropes and zoanthropes that are flying around. I'm happy to say that I've come around full circle on this thing, and I'm now a firm believer, especially after putting heavies and vanguards to complete shame in the ranged damage department run after run after run. The only thing you have to remember is that this thing takes time. It's like a Gyarados, but you gotta start with that level 5 Magikarp first. But it's well worth the investment in the end. Thanks so much for watching the video today and for the absolutely insane support on my channel since I started covering this game. I'm super humbled and honored that you would choose to spend your time here on my little channel. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like on it, as that's the best free way to support the content here on YouTube, and consider subscribing for additional Space Marine 2 content. Be warm and well fed, my friends. Courage and honor.